Very good morning to you viewers out there. You are on to your Friday community show that normally brings storm and spotlight issues that affect Abuja Original Inhabitant to you. Dateline with Abuja Original Inhabitant. Proudly supported and brought to you by SADC, Socio-Economic Research Development Center, based in Abuja, with support from Crescent and Makoto. And today's edition of the show, we'll be looking at women in humanitarian sector. A lot of women are being engaged, are being involved in humanitarian sector. And when we talk about humanitarian sector, we're talking about the non-governmental organization aspect of our society, whereby they give out a lot of services in terms of caring for the elderly, caring for the young girls, caring for women, and caring for everyone in the society. A lot of work is being carried out by women in the humanitarian sector. And again, if you want to ask what is humanitarian sector, my guest is already seated. She's going to provide some insight into the sector, how Nigerian women are participating, what have they beginning, what are the challenges, and how far are some of the projects of SADC supported by Makoto and Crescent impact the women in the FCT, especially the original inhabitant in the FCT. So right now, we'll go into the discussion and have my guest sister in the person of Akinwole Beatrice. Good morning, ma.
Good morning, sir.
Thanks for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, to start with, let's quickly look at some of the issues around Abuja Original Inhabitant. For instance, the humanitarian aspect or sector in Nigeria generally. What is your assessment of women participation or women being engaged in this sector?
I'll start with the women in the humanitarian sector have been doing a lot of work. They've been putting in a lot of hard work and effort. So I would like to talk about the insecurity, that aspect of insecurity. You see, we look into the aspect of Boko Haram insurgency. We have the farmers and herder clash. It's something that has been, getting involved with the humanitarian work we've been doing. So I will also look at the aspect of funding challenges. Funding is something they've been giving us, and it hasn't gotten to some level. So more things need to be done in terms of funding. With funding, it keeps the work going. With funding, it's make the work effective. So funding is a key thing that we need to look at, and then need to bring more funding to make the work keep going.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, a lot of people want to ask that the humanitarian sector is like a sector that maybe it should just be for men, but women are also participating in it. In your own view, how has it been like? How has Nigerian women like you, because I know you are also a member of this sector, you are stakeholders in this sector, you participate in this sector, you engage in this sector, you even have an organization that run programs in this sector. So how has women been faring? If you compare yourself to your other colleague women that are also having or becoming ED, executive director of their own organization running humanitarian sector, how is it like?
Okay. Sometimes bureaucratic obstacles, like getting involved with government, it's something that actually slows the system. Because sometimes there are due process, that you need to follow. You need to get the government involved. So those things, they slow down the operation, and then the delivery will not come the way we think. So I'll still talk about leadership, leadership position. If you look at it, you see women are beginning to be managers of organizations. And then we become team leaders. Women are becoming team leaders in various activities, various organizations too. So that is another way I've seen that's fairness.
Okay. Yeah. Now, quite good that you be able to mention areas where women are now having a share of position. They are not competing with the men per se, but at least they are showing their own talent, they are showing their own wisdom, and they are showing how they can contribute to the humanitarian sector. Now, someone want to ask, because I know most of our viewers watching us, since this program started over a month ago, the program has showcased how OIs, Abuja Original Inhabitants, has been faring with spotlight issues that affect them. Now, in that regards now, how do you see women in original Abuja Inhabitant women participating in the humanitarian sector? The women per se that we consider as the people who we originally see as the owners of Abuja, or people that occupy Abuja land, for instance. How has their women fare in the humanitarian sector? Are they participating? Are they showing interest, or are they just showing nonchalant attitude toward humanitarian sector?
Okay, thank you. Those days, the original inhabitant women, they didn't know much about the humanitarian aspect. But as I'm talking to you, they are putting in their best in terms of humanitarian sector to stand up for what is theirs, their rights, things that are supposed to be for them, how to improve FCT at large. So women are getting involved. The FCT women are getting involved. FCT women are they've come out of that shell where they were timid kind of, but these days we are much involved in that humanitarian sector.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, for our viewers out there, this is Dateline with Abuja Original Inhabitant, the program that spotlight issues that affect Abuja Original Inhabitant. In Abuja, there are about 62 wards, there are about 6 area councils, and there are 18 chiefdoms where this set of people occupy. So we look at the issues that affect them, we look at the challenges, and we try as much as possible to draw government attention to them. And in today's discussion, we'll be looking at women in humanitarian sector. And when we talk about humanitarian sector, we're talking about the NGOs, the CSO, the caregivers, and all areas whereby people give in a way that they want to share their own with other people. That is humanitarian sector. They take care of their welfare, they provide for them in terms of need. When there are challenges, they come out to show concern. That is the humanitarian sector. And we're looking at how far as women be participating in this humanitarian sector. And my guest today is Akinwole Beatrice. She is the executive director of Girls Pride Foundation, another NGO, another humanitarian organization based in Abuja. And she has been giving us an insight into how women in Nigerians are faring in this sector of humanitarian aspect. In a sense that, what are they doing? What has been their effect? What has been their gain? What has been their benefit? And how has they been able to contribute? And what are the challenges they are also confronting? SADC is the one bringing this program to you, and it's a program that spotlights issues around Abuja Original Inhabitant. As she rightly said earlier, Abuja Original Inhabitant women are already being engaged in the humanitarian sector. But the question that someone will want to ask is that, even though they are being engaged, they are being carried along, what are the challenges? What are the other things that may stop them not to participate in the humanitarian sector? Thank
you. The first thing is that insecurities, because our people are experiencing that farmers and herders clash. So that is a key challenge that will hinder us from, getting to do more. And then challenges on assessing those areas where we really need to give in our time and then see the things they need. So assessing those areas will be difficult when there's insurgency and there's clashes with farmers and herders. So that is another challenges. Then the next one is assess that empowerment. Empowerment in the sense that they need to, we have healthcare facilities, and then we have the road to access those community. If the roads are bad, you can't reach them.
Exactly.
Yes. So, and then if talking about women, in terms of health, if the facilities are not there, they cannot get what they want. You understand? So health wise, those facilities needs to be put in place. So that's where I see. All right,
that's a good one. And again, for you as executive director of Girls Pride Foundation, what is Girls Pride Foundation doing? What is their take in the OI's plight?
Okay, Girls Pride Foundation is a non-governmental organization, just like you said, that ensure women are empowered, women are educated, and then gain that relevance they need. So what we do is we go around the communities, the rural communities per se, to mentor women on how to stand for their rights and how they could get back to school, because sometimes we have women that are out of school due to some circumstance, dropouts, one thing or the other.
Exactly.
So we go around, mentor them, and then get to see where we can empower them with skills. So it's an indigenous NGO.
Exactly.
So we work with the rural communities to see where we can come in. But the major thing we do is that mentorship.
Exactly.
You know?
Now, from another thing people want to know, SADC is one hosting this program, and they bring you, who is also an executive director of another organization, and they want to say, okay, SADC is receiving support from Crescent and Makoto Foundation. So how has the SADC project and program impacted you and your organization?
Okay, SADC is one of the NGOs that have really impacted Girls Pride Foundation through workshops, trainings, and then through some outreach, sensitization. So those workshops have trained the staffs of Girls Pride Foundation. We get to learn how to tackle the issue of gender-based violence, and then get to learn how to talk about the health of women. That's the menstrual hygiene. So we get to learn how to engage in community work, like when you don't wait for government to come and do some things for you, like say you get to engage the women on sanitation, to clean up the communities. Such things don't need the government to come in at that point. It's something we can do even before the government comes. So we've learned a lot how to get involved, just make things happen the right way, even before other bigger organization and government itself get involved.
It's true. Now, for viewers out there, this is Dateline with Abuja Inhabitant, the program proudly brought to you by SADC, Social Economic Research Development Center, based in Abuja. And this program is a two-leg. We are on TV, and I want to tell you that by 10:30 a.m. also this morning we'll be on the radio section, which is the independent radio 89.7 FM. And my guest will still be Beatrice Akinwole, the executive director of Girls Pride Foundation. She will be telling us more when we get to the video section. But just as she has been saying a lot about how the impact of SADC project and programs has impacted our life and organization, as well as the role of women in the humanitarian sector. And in that regard, so people who also want to hear more in terms of the humanitarian sector, most people know humanitarian sector to be a sector that just give out. Is there any way people also give in to humanitarian sector in terms of maybe someone, a volunteer person, or donation, or giving cash or materials to humanitarian sector? How do people get involved in humanitarian sector?
All right. Getting involved in humanitarian sector, I know the support is always there, and then not just the support, physically, voluntarily, you need to mentor what you know. You need to give out to the society, not just the monetary aspects. Your time, take out your time to train this person. Take out your time to tell this person the right thing. Take out your time to help fight for the right of that person. And then take out your time to make even your community peaceful from any conflict or any clashes. So those are the aspects.
Which is quite very interesting and very good. And for the OIs, the original Abuja Inhabitant, many of them, the 9 tribes that make up the original Abuja Inhabitant, if you are watching us, this program comes your way every Friday, and it is to spotlight issues that affect you, your family, your communities, and everybody you know, especially those of you that are very close together. Now, is to draw attention of government to you, to draw attention of government to your plight, the challenges that you are facing. And we are talking about the humanitarian sector, whereby we look at issues which they can be carried out. For Mrs. Beatrice, it is very important that people get involved in the humanitarian sector. That's our advice to majority of you out there. And I know she will still speak more on her advice. So what your take about OIs, how they can get involved in humanitarian sector? Like your organization is there, how can they can contact you? SADC is there, and others like that are all there. So how can they get involved in the humanitarian sector?
Okay, the original inhabitant already are involved, so we still call on them to get involved, because just like I said, the challenges for the original inhabitant, we having lack of education and then lack of leadership positions. If really they can get involved with various NGOs just like mine, I think those things will be put in place, because staying from afar, government, the bigger NGOs, other organizations might not really know what they need. But when you get involved, they get to hear you. You get to voice out, and then you get to tell them what you really need.
Exactly.
So I want to urge on them to get involved, key into humanitarian, because it's beautiful when you do humanitarian work.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, for Mrs. Beatrice, it is beautiful to do humanitarian work. And from me to you, there is that, adding to what she has said, it is beautiful to do humanitarian work, but also make yourself available. Make yourself available for the humanitarian work, so that everybody can put all hands on deck and get the problem that you are facing solved. I am Adi Folarin Alamliko, and you have been watching Dateline with Abuja Original Inhabitant, a program proudly brought to you by SADC, Socio-Economic Research Development Center, based in Abuja, with support from Makoto Foundation and Christ. This program is a two-leg. We are just running up the TV section. By 10:30 a.m. also, you'll be hearing us on Independent Radio 89.7 FM, Abuja. So I expect you to tune in your radio and listen to Mrs. Beatrice, who is the Executive Director of Girls Pride Foundation. From all of us here, it is goodbye and have a great weekend.